Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Try It Tuesday, where I put a new product to the test with you for the first time. This is a foundation and a concealer by RMS Beauty. Now this isn't a brand I hear a whole lot about, but what I have heard has been very high praise. Now this is a brand that was started by a professional makeup artist. Her name is Rose Marie Swift, and they are billing themselves as a clean makeup brand. This is not a sponsored video, but they did send me these products to try, and I want to say thank you, because otherwise I wouldn't have found out about them, and they have got what look to be a lot of really interesting products. Okay, first up is the foundation. This is the ReEvolve Natural Finish Liquid Foundation. This is in the shade 22, which is sort of a yellow undertone and for light to medium skins. You know, I really don't like selecting colors online because you just don't know what you're going to get. And while I have definitely made some mistakes, generally if I stick to that sort of yellow undertone, medium to light territory, I tend to do okay. So what they say is it's a skincare infused natural finish medium coverage foundation. Great stuff. It's water and sweat resistant. It won't clog pores. They say it firms and tones. It's hydrating and it's all day wear. Now let me just preface this by saying no foundation is all day wear for me. I stopped doing the check-ins at 8 hours because it's just never there for me. My skin is dehydrated. It sucks up all the makeup. It's never the makeup's fault. It's the user. So what they say makes it special is that it's formulated with ingredients like advanced titanol, which they have as a trademarked term. It's moisture-rich vegetable squalene, soothing organic aloe, and our signature RMS adaptogenic herbal blend, bottled up in an innovative refillable pack. And I love that the packaging is refillable. I think that's brilliant. By the way, an adaptogen is a natural substance like mushrooms and plants that help our body deal with stress. So it's a little bit of an anti-stress situation going on here, which is great. Next up is the concealer. It is called the UnCover Up Concealer, and this is also in the shade 22, so this should match very well. It is a 3-in-1 concealer that color corrects, conceals, and also acts like a tinted moisturizer. And they say it's buildable from a sheer to a medium coverage. So what they say makes it special is it's formulated with skin-loving clean ingredients. It's a nourishing concentrated cream formula that never dries out and won't settle in pores. And if you are a person of a certain age like myself, you know, the whole creasing here is a real problem. And I struggle to experiment with too many of these concealers just in general because things settle into fine lines and wrinkles and I find it really upsetting. Here's hoping that doesn't happen. Okay, so I'm actually going to start with the foundation, which is unusual because I tend to start with the concealers and I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to do it in two ways. I'm going to do one side with the brush and I'm going to be using my It Cosmetics Luxe brush. This is just the one I keep going back to over and over again. And then I'm going to use a beauty blender on the other side. And the reason I'm not using my fingers is I just don't like using my fingers. I don't like the messiness, so I never do it. So I'm going to use this in the ways in which I would actually use the product, so that's what we're doing today. So we're going to start off by looking at the consistency, and just to open this guy up, you just give it a little twist. And I just think that's great because it makes it airtight. This would be fine for travel, although it's awfully big, but I love the fact that it's refillable. So let's start off by having a look at the consistency. It does say you might need to pump a few times to activate it. Okay. So you can see it's not super, super runny, so it has a little, you know, a little bit of thickness to it, which for me, I think works just fine. Usually I would put this on a palette, but since I've already squirted it on my hand, okay, so I'm gonna put this behind, and we're gonna use the brush on this side of the face. So I'm gonna take what is on the hand, which is probably a lot more than I would generally use, and I tend, okay, it's a lot more pigmented than I thought it was going to be. Holy Toledo Batman. You do not need a lot of this product. I used way too much. Okay, well that's good. It means it's going to go a long way. Oh my gosh. Oh no, it actually feels lovely on the skin. Okay, I have to say, that actually feels lovely. We're just going to do this for the minute just to see what the feel is, staying away from under the eye. That is a really nice feel to it. Sometimes they can be a little too hydrating, and I've worked with makeups in the past that, you know, it's a little too much, and I love my oils, I love my hydrators, but sometimes it's almost a little too much. This is not that foundation, you guys. This feels fab. Kind of satiny. It's not uber hydrating, and by the way, I tend to like the really hydrating stuff without the grease. But you can see the pigment as it goes onto my lips. That is heavily pigmented. So I would say you would get a pretty serious coverage. I do have an age spot right here, which is generally how I can tell a level of coverage. Okay, I'm actually trying to get some off the brush by putting it onto the palette. I'm gonna go up here. I tend to pat because I feel like it does better with kind of getting into the pores. That is flawless. You can see there. Okay. I went over the halfway mark. That's all right. That is gorgeous. You can see I don't have any makeup here, but you know what? That finish is amazing. Coverage pretty good. What you think, Gare?
Mm-hmm.
He's very excited. The only time I don't like my fringe is when I'm doing my makeup and my skincare. That is pretty spectacular. So, lesson is, less is more. So I'm going to still use some of this, but I'm going to use a heck of a lot less this time, and I'm going to pounce that into the skin. Now, generally, I get a much lighter application with the wet sponge, which is exactly the case. You can see how much more coverage I'm getting on that than I am on that. It also uses a lot more product because it soaks up a lot of product. I don't know if I like that finish as much. It's definitely less. More sheer. Which in general I do like, by the way. I don't tend to wear a lot of makeup. I don't like looking like I'm wearing any makeup. I don't know. I just don't really like that finish as much. This is probably a little heavier than I want, and I feel like that isn't heavy enough. So what I really need is just a lighter touch with my brush. I'm going to pounce this in over here now because I think it's a bit too heavy. And I'm probably going to go in and add a little bit here now that I've done that test. I don't like the Beauty Blender as much, which is great because I don't really use them as often. So, oh yeah, that's really nice. That is really, really nice. Yeah, that's pretty. That is super pretty. I am digging it. That is so pretty. I do have an age spot here. It's still there. It's very, very faint. I don't like actually covering it up entirely because then that means I have too much on. But this is a very good way to even out my skin. I do carry a bit of redness in here. It just gives it a nice little finish. This is a really good makeup, I'd say, for filming. I tend to wear heavier makeups when I'm doing any kind of videos, but my day-to-day I would go much lighter. So I think with just a tiny bit, right as rain. Next up is the concealer. So at first it feels very creamy. This makes me nervous, this part. Now I'm just going to put it on here with my fingers. Oh, it's nice and brightening out. It's funny because it's the same color, but it definitely has a brightening effect, doesn't it? Can you see the difference? That is really pretty. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. I think I have a new favorite concealer. I didn't think anybody could top the Lancome. I think RMS did it. It feels so nice on the skin, guys. Ooh, look at that. And it is brightening. Look at that. Can you see the difference? Oh, and I would say that this is going to be really good as an eyeshadow base, so I'm going to try that too. And by the way, I forgot to say, I started with totally clean skin. I had nothing on my skin except my skincare and my sunscreen, which I'm pretty sure was not tinted today. And I'm going to put some of this on the eyelid just to act as a makeup eyeshadow base. Oh, that is so pretty! Oh, Gary, that is just so lovely. Gary's very excited. If you could see his face, you would know. Gary had too much wine last night too. Do you want a little concealer under the eyes? It might help you too. Now see, that makes me look a hell of a lot better than when we started because I wasn't feeling so great this morning. That is stunning. That is beautiful. Okay, so I just applied a tiny bit of blush and I put on a little bit of my Baby Lips by Maybelline, and that's it. I haven't done eyes and all the other stuff, but I wanted just to see how the makeup looked with a tiny bit of color. So what do we think? It's beautiful. I absolutely love this makeup. So this is RMS Beauty, and I think it looks amazing, and it is a foundation that I never would have tried if I hadn't been contacted by the brand. So RMS, thank you. I do now want to try a whole bunch of other products. I've really poured over the website, and there are a couple of things that I really would like to try. They have these Hydra powder blushes, which are part blush, part highlighter. Dying to try that out. They also have these lip to cheek products that look amazing. Their bronzer looks fab. And they have these legendary serum lip stains that are lip stains that last for 8 hours, but it looks like they're super, super hydrating. Gosh, I'd like to try those. And their brushes even look good. So if you're interested in seeing a full face of the RMS Beauty products, let me know, because I may just have to go and pick some of these up to see how they all work together. But all in all, I am so pleased. I think the finish is gorgeous. Nothing is settling into my fine lines and wrinkles. It's just a bit of brightening and a bit of just sort of getting rid of the redness. I think it looks great. What do you think? Have you heard of RMS Beauty? Have I just been living in a hole somewhere? I don't know. I'd really like to hear your thoughts, hear your experiences, and let me know what you think. Is it a thumbs up? I certainly think so. So that is it for today's video, guys. It was a quick one, but gosh, it's one I've been meaning to make for a while, and I'm so glad that I did. So if you like the look of this video, please, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing you at the next one. Bye. Are you ready to go?
Ready to go.
Are you ready?